city. I can't tell you what the city does to me. And the fact that it is the most gorgeous sunshine this morning, and I'm sat on my friend's balcony with my takeaway coffee and a cardamom pastry bun, having been up quite early. I think you always get like the first day jet lag advantage. I actually naturally woke up at 4 and I had to get the vlog live, so it worked out really well, although it was an hour late, so apologies. And then I did a little bit of work and went on a run for sunrise, which was at like 6:45. So that was gorgeous. Saw my favourite skyline view, grabbed a coffee and a pastry from Nick and Sons, which is such a good little coffee pastry shop in Williamsburg, Greenpoint, which my friend recommended. I went to, it's just the best vibes. I mean, blue skies, sunshine. Everyone's like out and about really early. I feel like in London, coffee shops don't really open till like 8, or like, they feel like they open really late, whereas here everything's open at like 7. It really has that morning culture that like Australia has, where people do stuff before work. But yeah, I'm very, very, very grateful to be staying with one of my really good friends out here in New York. And I've got a lot of plans with her and her friends. Like tonight we're going for drinks and dinner, and tomorrow night we've got a dinner party. But I've got meetings and coffee and work and events and stuff happening here as well that I'm going to take you along with me for. But we'll do a lot of that next week because today is Friday. So today I'm gonna have like a mooch around and just chill. Just like let my cortisol levels chill, because everybody said that the reason I was waking up at 3 a.m. at home is because of my cortisol levels. And I know what you're thinking, Grace, why don't you move to New York? Well, if a visa came my way, I would not pass it by. So let's see where the day takes us. New York, baby, look at that view. So nice. You can see it all the way over into Manhattan. I'm just so happy, I'm just so grateful. I want to show you one of my favourite viewpoints in the whole of New York. It's this little spot here. And it's never too busy. I hope you're going to be able to hear me. But I just came down to Dumbo today. Oh my god, the helicopter too. Okay, we're going to walk and talk, get onto the quieter street. But I just spent the morning in Dumbo House, which is like a Soho house. So obviously I couldn't film anything. I'll insert a sneaky picture I took because it's right on the bridge. It's so beautiful. But it's 30 degrees here today, so just like everyone's sunbathing in bikinis on the rooftop. So I just wanted some downtime to actually like settle in and calm in. So I just like read my book, and it was just glorious. Paid for a very overpriced chicken Caesar wrap, but to be fair, it was delicious. So I'm just going to mooch on back over. It's about an hour walk back to Natalie's. Just want to get some steps in, get moving. I had a bit of a tourist moment. I was rushing to get the boat down here. So there's like a boat which takes like half an hour. The boat ride's like 10 minutes or whatever down the river. I was rushing because I was like going to get there the minute the boat left, and they only come every half an hour. So I was rushing and I ran straight onto the boat. And I realised once I was on the boat that it was the one going in the opposite direction. And we proceeded to go up the river away from where I wanted to go, and in fact further from where I started. So a truly humbling tourist moment, reminding myself I am not a resident here yet. So that was funny. I'm going to finish listening to this podcast, and then when I get back, let's talk through some podcasts I've been listening to and why I love them, because I also think I'm going to be recording a podcast here quite likely. So I'm going to redeem myself and get the ferry back up the river, so you can come with me to see that. I swear to God, one job. Good morning from my favourite city in the entire world. I feel as tired as I look. Literally, I've never had so many plans in my life this weekend, because my friend who I'm staying with has so many friends and so busy. And I mean, we beat jet lag like that because there was no room to be jet lagged, so that was good. But I think it's all caught up on me this Monday morning. I'm gonna probably grab a coffee. So yeah, it's not a great start. I don't love to start my mornings with coffee. I don't like to drink too much coffee at all, but I feel like today's one of those days. Then I'm doing a talk tomorrow that's a pre-recorded talk for a big ManyChat Instagram summit in a few weeks, which has some really cool speakers. But you essentially pre-record the talk and then you show up on the day, because it's all virtual, to do like the Q&A live. And then I've got a call with Stan Store, which is very exciting, who are a big company in the creator space. They are one of the few companies who have sold for the future growth of the creator economy, and they've understood where the trajectory is going, and they've acted, and they're building this phenomenal company, really inspired by their founder. They've got backing from Stephen Bartlett, Gary Vee, etc. So having a conversation this morning, it's actually a long overdue. We've both cancelled the call 3 times for different reasons, to talk about something that they're bringing out and if we could potentially partner on that. So that's cool. And then this afternoon I'm going to go over the bridge to Manhattan, although it's looking very gloomy out there, because I need to pick up some outfits for an event I've got tomorrow night, which is probably one of the craziest emails I've ever received. I got this email from Princess Eugenie's team. It was like, HRH Princess Eugenie wants to invite you to an event or something. But the fact that it happens to be in New York the week I'm here, I was like, oh yeah, I can actually come to that. Like, that's so bizarre. So that's tomorrow night. It's Climate Week this week, and it's about like anti-slavery in the fashion world. But they're bringing together like brand leaders and like all sorts of leaders for this event and talk. And I need to get something that's like chic, presentable, New York style, but also like acceptable in front of a princess, a real life princess. So Flick's done me a load of boards, and I need to go and source some clothes this afternoon. And after this weekend, all I want to do is probably get some bone broth from Springbone and to like have a super early night, which is so lame. I'm gonna get a coffee, and I'm too scared to vlog in New York yet. I don't feel like psychologically safe enough to vlog in New York, so I'm gonna leave you here. Pop out and grab a coffee. I've just been invited to see a Broadway show with someone I actually met when I was in Boston, who lives in New York now, and it's really nice to see everyone when I come back. I've also got to create content, I've got deliverables, like it's all happening this week. We're doing full creator entrepreneur week. Okay, let's get coffee and do the week. I also did a Pilates class last night, which was called Solid Core, which is notoriously terrifying, and every part of my glutes are in agony, but that's probably a good thing, and I probably will do it again. I love, top tip, if you ever go anywhere, if you like to do gym classes, or you're in a new city and you're like not staying somewhere with a gym, I always get class pass when I'm in different cities. They often do like really good rates as well for like a one-off month, so you get credits and classes and you can explore different classes. Right, coffee, work, I'll see you shortly. So you know there are two things. One, I know American branding and marketing can sometimes be a bit gimmicky and a bit garish, but what they do know very, very well is how to create brand worlds. They understand touch points like no one else. I think like we get so excited about touch points in the UK because I think we're not very good at it. Like we're not very good at like hammering our message home at every single opportunity. Like we're too reserved to repeat our messaging or be loud about our messaging. So when brands we get really excited. But in the US, like everything is branded. Like every coffee cup I get has like the branding printed on. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. It's got like a whole New York City like skyline, and also this sipping cup experience is delightful. I don't know why we don't have these in the UK. We do have sipping cups, but like the way this sits, stunning. That was the first thing I wanted to say. I get so much inspiration here. Just even the shop fronts and everything is just so well thought through. And when I say touch points, I mean like every touch point of the consumer experience replicates the brand mission or amplifies the brand messaging. So you feel very sucked into the world. It creates a sense of loyalty and connection to the brand. Second thing, I love New York to pieces. The only thing that slightly drives me insane is how you wake up 5 hours behind, which means you always feel like you're chasing your tail. You're always sort of, it feels like you wake up and you're like, whoa, like emails, messages, like WhatsApps, like it can be quite overstimulating, so I almost need to like figure my routine. So yeah, that's the only thing. I much prefer being on the other side of the world for working, where you wake up ahead of everyone else. That's the best. Like when you fly, I guess, to like Asia or Middle East or like Dubai or that way, you wake up and you have time on the UK, and that's a great feeling. So if only New York was ahead, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm going to prep this talk for tomorrow, and then I've got that call later on. So I'm just going to be like tapping away, and then I will take you later to do all the shopping bits. I miss my pita chips. I guess it could be worse. I've now got a call with the team at Stan to talk about one of their new product features and see how I can work together with them. But I'm really obsessed with what they're building. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a massive exit in like 2 years' time. So we're gonna jump on that call now. I have booked a meeting room space in this beautiful co-work center for tomorrow so they can both create a video, because I've got to create a piece of content, and do this pre-record. The title of the talk is Striking Out on My Own, Why I Left the World's Biggest Podcast to Create My Own Content. And this is part of the ManyChat Instagram Summit, which is probably, even when this comes out, still in the future. So I'll leave a link below. I've been like a ManyChat stan. Like I was really, really early to using ManyChat. I remember they used to like cold email us at the Diary of a CEO when no one had heard of it. And we were really early adopters. So ManyChat is like essentially CRM, or like automation for better personalization essentially on Instagram and Meta platforms. And it's when people will like comment X and we'll send you this in the DMs. But it's so much more than that. They have like all this funneling and ability to really like, well, one, collect data, but two, increase retention and loyalty and just better the customer journey. And everyone used to be like, how are you doing that? Like, what are you doing? So it was our little secret. And now I've used it for when we did the launch of our Substack, we used it and it went crazy. I use it for like anytime I launch or want to direct people to a link. It's just much more seamless than like having links on posts or links on stories that can get clunky and actually like deranked. It actually heightens engagement on content because you're driving replies or engagement to a story or a post, because obviously you're driving comments or you're driving replies on a story. And so it tells the algorithm that lots of people are engaging with it. So it actually heightens the engagement. So it's basically like an engagement hack, a retention hack, a customer journey hack. The results are phenomenal. This is not an ad. I'm being paid to speak at this summit, but this isn't an ad for the product. My talk has nothing to do with the product. So yeah, I'm a big fan of ManyChat. Right, let's jump on this call with Stan. Glasses on for making me look more intelligent than I actually am. Hi.
Nice to meet you, Grace. Finally, I get to see your face.
I know, we've literally been like ships in the night, haven't we? I mean, I'm a massive fan of what you're doing at Stan anyway, but I think there's so many sort of AI tools right now who are sort of completely overhauling the post to the point where you remove the human voice. And that for me is like been something I've been avoiding at all costs, because I think as soon as you remove the human, there's not much point. But I think I would definitely love to like understand how it's going to like enhance my content rather than like taking my voice away. But I'd love to have a play around for sure.
I'm curious to see what you think once you get to play around with it, to see how well he captures like your essence. Thanks, Grace. Lovely to meet you, and we'll chat soon, okay?
Speak soon. Bye. I'm so intrigued to try Stanley because it's so different to the other AI tools that support you with your LinkedIn writing. It studies your own post and understands your tone of voice. But not only that, gives you a report on how your content is performing and suggestions to make it better. So I'm really intrigued to give it a try. So let's see how it goes. And then if it goes well, yeah, like we'll end up doing a partnership. This is really great for you to also see, because this is how partnerships often start. It's like, we've got this thing, we want you to test it out, we want you to use it. Or if they don't say that, I insist on it. If I don't already use it, if I'm not already like a big fan. And then it's like, cool, let us know how it's going. If you want to do a paid partnership down the line, that's what we can start to talk about. So you may see in a few weeks that I might be doing like a paid partnership with them. And this is like where it all started from. It's like, use the tool, figure it out, give us feedback, and let's go from there. Very excited. I'm excited that it's a very different product. And I, again, love what Stan are doing. So yeah, right, that was so much quicker than I thought, which I love. I love an efficient, quick call. I need to venture across to Manhattan to pick up some pieces to wear for this big event I've got tomorrow night. I'm also thinking I might get my hair blow dried this evening, because they have these blow dry bars in Manhattan where you can get like a full wash head massage blow dry for like $25. And that would be really fucking useful. Sorry, why am I swearing so much? What's New York done to me? That would be really useful for all of my content I've got to do tomorrow. And you know, you gotta treat yourself. Oh my god, that would have been awful. I hope the people I'm staying with aren't watching this. I'm gonna take screenshots of all my pages that Flick has done for me. Let me show you. There's a lot of options. I'm gonna have to see what's available. I really like these. So let's see. Let's go over to Manhattan. someone please explain to me why it's 7:45 and I have just walked through the door, having not had my hair done, obviously, having not had a massage, having spent that long today, like maybe 5 hours walking around shops to literally no avail. I bought a few things out of like desperation. The reality is that I've got stuff I can wear that's nicer. I actually hate traipsing around shops. It's like, I think it's such a waste of time. I feel so unfocused. It's why I am working with a stylist. And I know it's first world problems. Anyway, at least I got my bone broth, spring bone broth in a cup. You drink it like it's coffee here. I'm obsessed. This is the immunity one. It literally tastes like drinking chicken soup. This stuff is so good for you. I just picked up some sushi rolls, super cute. And I got 3 like full-size rolls for $12, which I thought was pretty good going, considering New York pricing. And they look really fresh and delicious. And it had great ratings. So that's gonna be my dinner tonight. Then I'm gonna do a massive, I love how everything is just macro sized in the US. Like the size of the soy sauce, usually they're like half the size in the UK. They look so good. I'm gonna spend the rest of the evening, I'm gonna do some urgent emails. Then I'm going to do a big tidy up of the room I've been staying in because I've been so in and out. It's chaos. Decide an outfit from either what I've got or what I've bought, and then like calm and chill. So yeah, gonna just like bring my cortisol down. And tomorrow we've got all sorts of things happening, which I'm obviously going to take you along for. If I finish tidying my room early enough tonight, I'm actually going to try and edit a video as well. I also need to do a concept. There's a lot to do. I also want to go for a run tomorrow morning. Okay, I just had to debrief that with you because things should be easy and sometimes they're not, and that's okay. Okay, dinner, tidy my room, get an early night, and I will see you in the morning. It's Tuesday, it's day 2 of our crazy week in New York. I've just finished a call with Jordan for community service where we went through everything that was happening this week, from the Nike Skims collaboration launch to this crazy emergence of this new format on Instagram which everyone has gone mad for in the last like 48 hours. I don't think I can remember a trend exploding in the same way. We spoke about whether brands should jump on the trends or whether brands kill trends. So that was a really good conversation. Really obviously enjoy catching up with Jordan and Josh, his head of content. I'm now quite frantically doing my makeup because I've got to head to this office space that I've hired out for the day, get set up, and do my ManyChat presentation. I wish my skin would skin a bit more at the moment. So I wake up, wash my hair, blow dry my hair, and I always think it's important to mention those things because I think often people forget as a woman how much prep you actually have to do for a day like today. And that's why comparison or all of these things is really hard, because the amount of effort and time that goes in for a woman versus a man hour to hour differs for sure. I've lost 2 hours this morning of prep work because I've had to do my hair and makeup. That's the reality of it. And then yeah, I'm gonna come back here, get ready, and go to my event with Princess Eugenie, which is obviously completely insane. So yeah, happy Tuesday. Let's do, not me searching for the good light in the whole of this video. I think I found it here. Let's do Tuesday together. I'm in a rush. I don't know why I picked up to film now. Just felt like a good moment, you know? Okay, I was very late. I will show you around this office later, but it's 12 o'clock. I've got to jump on to do my pre-record. I just can't believe this office space. It's the fact that my background on my laptop is currently the skyscape that I'm sitting in front of. I actually can't. I can't. Okay, let's do this presentation, then I'm gonna talk you through this office. Okay, let's join this call.
How are you doing today?
Good, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay, that is all done. That was really great setup, and it's really interesting that everything's pre-recorded because then they're like edited to like time perfection for the day. But yeah, let me show you this office space which I rented. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm sorry, it's a meeting room for 10 people, but the views are absolutely sensational. You get literally a panoramic view of the entire skyline, like literally the whole of Manhattan over there. It's absolutely sensational. I've only got like half an hour in here left. I might go and ask if I can have another half an hour just so that I can record this content for this brand because it'd be really good to get it done today. Otherwise, I guess I could come back tomorrow and do it tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, a few months ago I did a competition where people could win a TV advert, small businesses, and Enterprise Nation have reached out again, and this time they're partnered with Alibaba, and you can win a $200,000 startup fund in 30 seconds. I love doing these brand partnerships where small businesses win. It's like my favorite thing to do. Although interestingly, side note, which I love because I'm really learning about it, I did have to like defend my rates for this one. Like I had to really like negotiate why I deserved the fee I was putting out there because it had increased since last time, justifiably because my audience size had grown by 23%. And in any other business situation, if your business or whatever has grown by a certain percent, you are able to like justify your increase in rates, right? Like my audience's size had scaled, the reach opportunity was greater, and therefore the charge would be higher. But they were like, why are your prices changed? And I was like, because I'm operating as a business and here's the evidence. And they were like, oh, okay, fine. So one, always defend your rates, or like be able to defend your rates. You know, if you're putting something out there, be ready to fight for it. They came back and they were like, cool, yeah. So I think it was a really important example of that, whether you're a brand or business, like being able to defend your rates. So I've got the brief here. So I won't show you everything because I'm not sure what I can share, but this is like the influencer brief. This is a really good one. It shows like what success looks like, and I've got like deadlines and everything, and then I get to like create the content with free reign from here, which I love. The reality is I'm probably not going to be able to shoot this in the next 10 minutes, so I think that was a bit ambitious for me. I will spend the time now ideating, basically, like coming up with a good concept. I'm actually going to also take some photos in here, so not to waste the opportunity.
Or 80% or zero suffering, and that narrative has been excluded because there is very little voices of survivors are being heard and their leadership and their programs are being scaled. So it is a very extremely powerful conversation.
Good morning. I did a horrible job, I'm fully aware, of taking you along to the Princess Eugenie event yesterday. God, I've got all these little hairs on my face. The humidity today might send me over the edge. But no, it was kind of like a lot of important people in a room and I didn't feel super comfortable vlogging. Secondly, I was filming for a day in the life on my phone and I realized that filming this and that, impossible. You can't like be recording everything twice, it's just a nightmare. I'm not there yet. So what I will do is insert some of my clips from yesterday because it was a really interesting event and I'm so glad I had the opportunity to be in that space and in that room. Essentially, Princess Eugenie has a trust called the Anti-Slavery Trust, and they've seen this spike in modern slavery in the last few years as a result of counterfeit goods. So not dupes, because dupes, as they defined last night, is when a brand essentially duplicates like a designer brand and sells it for cheaper. That's duplicating or like bringing out their own version. But counterfeits being like just fake goods, and we were mainly focused on like fake handbags. So we were all given handbags in front of us and we had to try and see if we could tell if they were real or fake, which was quite fun. And there were 5 real ones on the table and lots of fakes, and the fakes were really, really good. And it was a really interesting conversation because they were saying Gen Z don't have this stigma in the same way millennials or older generations do around having and owning and shouting about having fake stuff. They showed like TikToks of Gen Z people being like, here's my £25 Louis Vuitton bag, here's the link to get it. And essentially this industry apparently has really high profit margins, has created this awful supply chain set up by like organised crime or organised criminal groups, a lot of whom are based in London and in the UK. And it was just this discussion, and they had sort of people who were like brand leaders, storytellers, kind of me, creators, industry professionals from like governing bodies, but also the apps like Spotify, TikTok, they were all there, Vogue. So like everyone coming together from all parts of the supply chain to kind of question, how do we solve this? Like how do we communicate and educate Gen Z? How do we stop the supply chain? But it's one of those things where it's so massive. So it's a huge problem. But it was kind of bringing people together to be like, hey, like how do we continue this conversation? It was New York Climate Week. So yeah, it was super interesting, really different, but like really eye-opening and like mind expanding to everyone bring their like little expertise to the table. And we heard from this incredible woman who was in slavery or was enslaved for 17 years in Nepal, I believe. And it was just incredibly moving. And my nerdy brain is sitting there going, the only thing people are going to remember from tonight isn't all of these statistics, isn't the ins and outs, it's her story. And that is the power of storytelling. So yeah, it was super interesting, giving me a lot of food for thought, just about like brand communication in general, but also how I can maybe support more charity work or like NGO work and make that a bit more of my mission, because I found it really rewarding. So it's always good to say yes to opportunities, even if you don't know the nitty gritty, because there's always something to learn. There's always something to take away, even if it just expands your knowledge. So yeah, I was very grateful for that invite. And today I've got up, I actually came back last night to my friend hosting a dinner party here, which was really lovely with her friends, which led to quite a late night. So I actually struggled to get up this morning, even though time difference should be on my side. I should still be getting up early, but I'm not. And then I worked on promotion for community service, which went up today, which is one of my favorite editions so far, issue number 3, breaking down whether brands should jump on trends when their brand is trending, or does it kill it? We talked about the Nike Skims launch, and Edward Enninful's EE72 launch, which we both agreed was a flop, and we explained why. Really focused on celebrities and whether celebrities are still relevant in brand and culture for Gen Z. So that was today's read. If you haven't read it yet, I'll leave the link below. Then I've just got ready and prepped the script for a brand partnership piece of content I need to film, which is so exciting because it's giving people who have an idea about a product the opportunity to win $200,000. If this comes out before the deadline, I will leave a link in the YouTube description about that competition as well. It's from Alibaba. So I'm gonna film that now, and then I'm going into Manhattan to meet 2 ex-investment bankers who have recently left to build a community-focused like social media project. It kind of sounds a little bit similar to Click, which is what I work on in the UK, but they're friends of a friend, similar industry. So I was like, cool, interesting. I'd love to hear what you guys are up to and see if there's anything I can do to connect them with Click, because I don't think they're building technology. I think they're focused on advertising. So I think they actually have different models, which could be super complementary. So I'm going to meet them, and then I'm meeting up this evening with someone I met in Boston actually. I put out a post on LinkedIn when I was in Boston earlier this year, and I was like, hey, I'm in Boston, does anyone want to grab a coffee? And it led to like the most interesting people replying. But this girl worked at VaynerMedia. She actually was just in Boston visiting a friend and had a spare morning, but she lives in New York. So we met up in Boston and we're meeting up again tonight, and she was like, I've got a spare Broadway show ticket, do you want to come? So I'm going to see a Broadway show tonight. We're getting pizza first. I'm excited to hear what she's up to now, because I'm not sure if what she's doing or like where she's up to, but a lot has shifted since I was in Boston in January, because I was working on one of our shows over in Boston when I was still at Flight Story. So yeah, good to catch up with her. Just saying yes to lots of things while I'm here, and I need to film this brand film because then I gotta go. Okay, let's film this brand film. $100,000 sound in exchange for 30 seconds of your time. Okay, so I had a failed brand partnership filming this morning because by the end of filming it, I hated the concept. So have asked for an extension from the brand to film something tomorrow because I just had such a better idea. Yeah, the humidity is nuts in the city today. I have just been for a coffee, but the coffee, I had like 3 sips. I think it was cold brew, and it sent me crazy. Like, my reaction was so intense. Like, it makes me feel like I'm gonna pass out. So stopped drinking that, but had a really good conversation with some of my friends' friends about the company they're building, which is all in the community marketing space. Really just like to understand what the landscape is like over here, which is super different to the UK. There's a lot more happening, and like I'm not one to gatekeep information, so, and they're not gatekeepers, so I was like, I just want to like share knowledge in this space because we kind of work in a similar space. So yeah, they're about to do a big fundraising round, so it was super interesting to learn about the fundraising landscape over here. We were talking about visas, we were talking about the community space in general and how there are so many consumer, like social consumer apps for community over here. So that was interesting as well, to get a bit of a lay of the land for over here. Just hopped on the subway and now I'm just walking over to Soho House to get my laptop out and do some work for like an hour. I'm just going to reply to some emails. I'm going to edit 2 videos and write a piece of content for LinkedIn. I also need to write a promotional piece for community service. Just hit 4,000 subscribers. Well, actually, I think I just hit like 4,150, so that's super exciting. I love community service. I wanted to grow it into like a massive thing, so I would need to spend more time on that and like invest in the things I'm already doing rather than getting excited by the next like shiny, flashy thing, which is always tempting, you know? And then going to see a show in Broadway in like 2 hours time, but we're getting pizza first, so I'll see you for some pizza. The temptation to buy a new iPhone is actually too much. Hello, good morning, happy Friday. Safe to say, yesterday was a bit of a write-off. There will be no content from Thursday. Oh, I can pop you there, perfect. There will be no content from Thursday because I think I had an anxiety attack. And then I basically realized that my travel insurance, because obviously my mind immediately went to, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go to hospital, blah, 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 blah. My travel insurance had run out, which is the most type B thing. Like people were like, oh, type B, like, oh, it'd be so nice to live a type B life, like where everything just works out for you, or like, everything just figures itself out. And it's amazing, I love being type B until moments like this. This would never happen to a type A person. They would make sure before they got on the flight, their travel insurance was working. So then I freaked out, immediately bought some travel insurance, but they're quite smart, obviously. They don't let it kick in for 72 hours because otherwise people would only buy it when they're in an emergency situation. They wouldn't pay for it all the time. So I then pranged out about not having any insurance and being in the US, and if I needed to go to hospital, it would cost me more money than I have, i.e. tens and tens of thousands of pounds. I am very sensitive to caffeine anyway, and I'd had a coffee in the morning, and then I went and met someone and I hadn't eaten, and I had another coffee, and I literally was like high as a kite. I don't know if anyone else experiences that. It was like rocket fuel, and for the rest of the day I was just pranging. I was just like vibrating and so anxious. But on Wednesday night we did go to Broadway. I don't think I caught you up from that. I went and met my friend who is director of marketing at Venus Speakers, which is super cool, and it was so nice to see her. And then we went to this Broadway show, which was honestly like spectacular. But I think maybe I just have completely overdone it. Like I have had so much going on, and I was really gutted because it meant yesterday I had to cancel seeing my friend who is an editor at Forbes, and then also go to meet an agency who I've been speaking with about representation over here. And I had to cancel both of them, which was so gutting because of all the days I was probably looking forward to that the most. But I think it was just a sign to like chill out. So that's what I did. I literally had a duvet day, ordered a bagel. I did walk out in the evening. I felt a bit better to go and grab some dinner, came back, watched like 4 episodes of Love is Blind and just kept sleeping. Like I think that's for me why I'm like, oh, it feels like it was anxiety, because after you have that like attack moment, which can manifest in so many different ways. So yeah, I'm glad today I've woken up, the sun is shining, just like putting it down as a write-off, and that's okay. I think I put so much pressure on myself to like make the most of my time here and like have an amazing time. Anyway, that's just me trying to make sense of what was a bizarre day, but keeping it real always, and would never want this to be like New York and then like not all of the realities. So what I did do last night as a treat, having been like bedbound all day, is I went to Trader Joe's, which you've probably seen these bags everywhere. It's so funny that everyone now like brings them back to the UK and has them as their tote bag, but they're like $3. That's why, like really sturdy, substantial embroidered tote bag with the pockets in the front for $3, I think is why we all get so excited by them. I guess it's what people must experience when they come to the UK and go to like M&S and they have all like the quirky little bits. I'll show you some of the things I got. It's all very, I realised after I checked out the state of mind I must have been in, because everything is basically chocolate peanut butter flavoured, just in different variations. So we've got Trader Joe's chocolatey coated peanut butter crispy rice bites. And then we've got, again, milk chocolate covered peanut butter pretzels. And everything is like super sized. They don't do like small packets of anything. And these are maple brown butter flavoured almonds. They look absolutely sensational and so cute. And then I topped off on my favourite seasoning. This is like $2. It's called Everything But the Bagel seasoning. So like if you know about everything bagels in the US. It's like sesame seeds, sea salt, garlic, onion, black sesame, poppy seeds. Yeah, it's like salty deliciousness. We put it on like toasts, like sprinkle it on top of toasts. If we put like avocado on toast or like tomatoes on toast or like cream cheese on a plain bagel, just like, it's just delicious. I've got my mum one of those, us one of those. Yeah, I thought I would show you all my exciting goodies that I purchased and will be taking back with me and making my way through over the next few weeks. I will turn into peanut butter chocolate, apparently. Yeah, so I got the vlog live this morning, even though it was late. I like got it live and feel really good about that. And I'm gonna spend the rest of the day working through everything I didn't do yesterday, which is like a million emails. I know I always say that, but I can't explain how much comes through every single day. So emails and content creation and planning a little bit, because basically as soon as I land, I've got events and things next week. So yeah, and then I've just booked a massage. Don't feel sorry for me. Like, my life is pretty good, just has highs and lows. Because I was like, I really just need to, I don't want to go back to the UK like stressed. Like, I want to go back being like, oh, that was such like a creative, fun experience. I want to go back like full of energy. So I booked myself a massage for this afternoon. And then tonight I'm out for dinner with my friends. So like, yeah, no rest for the wicked. Maybe I should have always had yesterday as a bit of a rest. You'll see that in this week's episode, probably, or maybe last week's episode, where you can finally shop all of my outfits. I'll leave the link in my YouTube description always. So if there's anything you like and you want the link to from my speaking outfits or like general outfits, then I'll be trying to upload everything to there so it's centralized. And it seemed like the most seamless way to do it. It was the best example I could find. So officially on Shop My, and they are like commission links. So interested to see how that goes, to be honest. Yeah, just thought we'd do a little catch up. And I just sat out here and I went and walked and grabbed a croissant from the best, if you are ever in Williamsburg in New York, Nick and Son's croissants or pastries or everything are like, genuinely I think the best I've ever had, and I go to France every year. They're just like, I think they're like the best of like a French croissant where it's like warm and buttery, but also like it's got a bit of a chew to it, almost like a sourdoughiness, and they're honestly sensational. Like, I must have had 3 or 4 since I've been here. But yeah, Friday ritual was carried out just across the pond. My boyfriend actually FaceTimed me to show me the updates on the house, which are mega. Like, it's now looking like the what it's gonna look like for us, which is crazy. Like, all the walls are gone, the steels are up. It's crazy how quickly these guys are working. So I'm so excited to see that when I get back, and I will obviously show you around again. Whoa, he's actually calling me right now. What are the chances? Ears must have been burning. Hello, love you.
Love you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Weird timing. But he's chasing me to check I've done my emails, which I haven't, so I need to go and do that. Okay, maybe we'll walk out later and get a matcha or something, although I kind of don't want to have much caffeine. Okay, let's go and do Friday, because I leave tomorrow. Right, I have done a morning of admin work, speaking to people, editing some content, soft stuff I would say, like soft tasks. And now I am walking to get my massage and then probably get a matcha afterwards. Just living out my New York dream, and I've got Olivia Dean's new album which came out today because I'm just a girl and it's the 26th of September. So what else could you possibly expect me to be listening to? Just on the point of massages actually. I don't know if I've mentioned my non-negotiable list on here before, but I thought I'd share it. But basically, when I feel out of whack, or not so much what happened yesterday. Yesterday I'm gonna just say was like a write-off for like various reasons, but when things just feel a little bit like not in balance for me, I come back to my non-negotiables list, which is just something that I keep in my notes. And there are things which some people might think are super trivial and some things people will agree on, but it's actually a concept an Australian influencer introduced me to, which is like you've got to have your little things that bring you joy and balance that you can always come back to when things feel a little out of whack. So for me, for example, one of them is like always having my nails done. Having my nails done makes me feel put together, it makes me feel good about myself. I know it sounds, and it might sound trivial and trite to some people, I get it. It's meant to be your non-negotiable list, not anyone else's. Another one is like monthly massages for me. My massage is like my therapy. It's like one of the only times my brain completely switches off and goes into full like relax mode. So for me, that's an investment that for me is a non-negotiable and is really important for me. And then there are things like making sure I see my friends X number of times per month, or the sea is something that I find very calming, like going and being in nature and switching all devices off, which you know I do more often than people expect. It's those little things that you can come back to remind you of like the things that you want that bring you joy. And there are like much heavier things in there as well, like family and relationships, but there are also just like little trivial things that do make all of the world of difference to me. So yeah, I definitely recommend having a non-negotiables list. So long story short, I'm off to get a massage. Found a place that was really recommended, so, and it's like a 10-minute walk, so I'm very excited, and I will report back afterwards. Do I look zen? Because I feel zen. That was a sensational massage. If you're ever in New York, it's called Press. They have a few places around the city. It's no frills. Like, it's pretty, but there's no frills. It's not like bougie luxury spa. It's like massage. And I genuinely was like, he was like, what pressure do you want? I was like, medium. I don't know what hard would have been like, because my God, I think I'll be bruised tomorrow, but in the best kind of way. So that did freaking wonders. Right, I'm gonna walk to a place for a matcha that had a massive queue the other day. I'm hoping I'll be able to get one. Let's see. It was very popular. No, I'm actually laughing at myself because I was like, hey, let's go get matcha. And then I went and got matcha and drank it all and was gonna rate this like not that highly. And then I was like, oh, let me just vlog about the matcha, and realised I basically drank the whole thing. So I think that's gonna have to change my rating. Also, where I'm vlogging like now is like the equivalent of Battersea Park. So the secondhand embarrassment is huge. So there was no queue. I did get a strawberry matcha. Would rate this probably the best one so far. Kijitora. It was definitely full of like matcha girlies rather than just like a cafe. I'm gonna do a TikTok with all of my matcha reviews. Everything about the US is just so US. I don't know how to explain it. It's just lives up to everything that you'd ever hope if you've never been to America. Okay, I've been back for a little bit, but you were charging. So I've been watching I've been doing some bits, but I've been watching the Jay Shetty, Emma Watson interview. It's like the first time she's done an interview in years. It's 2 hours, 40 minutes though, so I think I'm going to watch this one in chunks. I often think like we think we're going to find creativity by scrolling, but I find my creativity when I'm consuming long form content and it's actually just a little bit left of center. I'm actually going to go outside in the sun. It's actually a bit left of center of maybe where you think you'll find your inspiration. Sorry, how stunning. I'm gonna miss this sunshine so much. I think it'll be a gorgeous sunset tonight. So yeah, let's do a little update on where I'm at. Is this gonna be too bright? Should I get my sunglasses? Yes, sunglasses retrieved. Let's do a little update on how everything's going and where I'm at. I also realised it's probably a good time to wear my microphone, but that is now on charge and I can't wait any longer because I've got to go for dinner soon. So I've been thinking about like, oh my God, what have I got to say on these vlogs? Like, I'm 10 weeks in and I haven't like figured out what I'm building yet. And I just want to be really honest with where I'm at, because I feel like I've been, for the 10 weeks, which actually isn't that long period of time, but in many ways is a long period of time. So much can be done in 10 weeks. I've been like muddling along, doing what I know how to do, which is receive inbound inquiries and act upon them. So I know I touched on this in my Q&A video, but the way I receive income right now is through speaking and brand partnerships, and both of them have ramped up. So I spend most of my time managing the inquiries and then delivering the inquiries. So whether it's a brand campaign that I shoot content for across Instagram and LinkedIn, or it's an event that I attend and make content about, or it's a talk that I deliver, whether it's internal or external, I'm either working on the content or delivering the content or managing the inquiry. That's basically what takes up all my time. And it's still kind of sporadic hours. So for example, when I get back, I have an event first thing on Tuesday morning that I'm like hosting, and then I've got things going on in the week, but then I've got like a talk on Sunday. So like it kind of is like, it still doesn't have like 9 to 5 hours by any means, which I don't mind, but that's kind of been my like life. So it's been very dictated by like what's coming in. And the thing that's become like, I guess, really clear to me, I think more so on this trip, is like I really want to build a consumer brand. When I think about what gets me really excited, what I love to do, what I love talking about for community service is like understanding what consumer brands are doing, breaking it down and analysing it, and like thinking about what I would do and how I would do it differently. When I think about what gives me thrills, it's like launching new products, getting creative, coming up with campaign ideas. And for the last like 2 weeks I've been like, do I want to go and do that with someone else? That's what I've been thinking a lot about. I'm like, I get so jealous and envious of people building their own thing. There was this big event, this big Times celebration last night, celebrating all these like top performing businesses. And don't get me wrong, I know so many businesses fail. I am not naive to that. But so many of my friends were at this event and I was like, I know how much hardship goes into the businesses they build. Like I get to see behind the scenes and I still want to do it. And I was like, I want to be one of those people. Like that's where I want to be. So I feel like I've gained clarity on that because I feel like I haven't had clarity for a long time. I've been like, what do I actually want to do? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? And when I think about like doing workshops and consultancy versus building my own thing, like building my own thing lights me up. Yes, it's great to be able to advise. I really like the advisory roles, but it doesn't fill me enough to not be building my own thing at the same time. Like I see the brand partnerships and the speaking almost as like a thing I'm doing in the middle whilst I'm figuring out what my thing is. It's not my end goal. So I know a lot of people like end goal is to do the speaking, and it's amazing that I'm able to like fund my life by doing it, but it doesn't satisfy me because it feels very transactional, I think. So yeah, it's been amazing to like carry me through to now, and yes, I will absolutely keep doing it because I really enjoy doing it, but it's not satisfying. And I think it also is quite, in many ways, like I would never want to just call myself a speaker. Like I'm only 28, I want to be a builder. Like that's why I'm obsessed with this concept of building. Like I want to be like, I'm going to shamelessly say, like I want to be the next like Alison Ellsworth. Like I want to build such a fucking great consumer facing brand that I really like cement my name as someone who like knows how to build. I'm really glad I've gained clarity on that. Like I know that that's the direction I want to go in. My issue is I don't have an idea yet. Like I don't have the thing I'm obsessed with. I could go, I guess, in lots of directions, so I'm not sure what the thing is yet. And I would also pretty sure I'd want to do it with somebody. I've listened to enough podcasts, I've met enough founders to know that it's freaking hard, and I really would like to have a co-founder to do it with. So this isn't me pitching for a co-founder by any means. It's just sharing with you the clarity I'm gaining from, I guess, things I'm listening to, spending more time reflecting, really trying to understand what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy. And I think it takes that time to figure it out. Like I've needed this time to be like, okay, that's the direction I want to head in. Even though I don't know what the thing is, I know that I would like to build a consumer facing brand, have fun with campaigns, just absolutely obsess over the marketing side and bring someone else in who's fantastic at the operational side of things. Or maybe they're the ideas personal, whatever it is. Like I don't want to come in and build someone else's idea who's already got like a team of 10. I want to co-found something from the ground up and be responsible for the growth, the reach, the campaign, the excitement, the obsession ultimately with the brand. I don't want to go around building loads of other people's brands. Like I want to build something. So yeah, I guess that's kind of where we're at. And I think being here in New York has like, New York for me, I've said before, I've said it in this vlog or I've said it in the last vlog, like it brings me a level of energy and excitement and creativity that I really needed. And I think just being in a different environment and sort of living here has brought me that base understanding of what I want to do. So that's a little update, because I think I'm also finding it hard when people ask what I do and I'm saying, well, I do a lot of speaking, I do brand partnerships, I guess I'm a creator. Like it doesn't sit well with me. Like that's not what I want to be known for. And there are a lot of people so I met up with the marketing director of Gary Vaynerchuk's media speaking bureau, speaking company, speaking sector, and our conclusion on what we were both saying was that there are a lot of people who want to be speakers. And I don't want to be a speaker. I want to be invited to speak because what I'm building, what I'm doing is so great. Like does that make sense? I enjoy the speaking side of things. I want it to be one of my many like strings in my bow. I don't want it to be my bow. So yeah, I guess that's a little update on where we're at and where my thinking's at. And someone said in the comments, I think of last week's vlog, like, you said you've laid all these foundations in place so that you feel you can tackle these busy weeks and things like that. And I think you build the foundations over time. And my foundations look like a better understanding of what I want, how I show up. And I guess I just have been able to spend more time thinking and taking a bit more control back. I'm saying no to a lot more, I think, as well, which helps give you clarity on what you want. No to partnerships that don't make sense to me. No to events that don't make sense to me. And when I say don't make sense to me, don't make sense to the audience I'm building, because if they're not aligned, it really doesn't serve me. Just wanted to give you an update. I just want to feel like this is still moving forward and this still has a lot of momentum behind it, which it does. I just want you to know the momentum is building, and we are building, and I'm getting more clarity on what that looks like. I want to really solidify my skills, cement myself in this industry that's going to serve me for like 20, 30, 40 years. I don't want to just do something transactional that's like a quick win that's going to allow me to like be someone who's relevant for like 6 months. But I can't also at the same time ignore the demand for consultancy and one-to-ones. So I am gonna figure out something that's going to be a sort of interim solution for that, whilst I'm also giving myself the time to build a business or product. I don't know, we're figuring it out. The solution for what the thing will come to me when I spend more time out in the real world and less time scrolling and consuming. It will be when I'm at talks, at events with real people, listening to long form, immersing myself in different industries and different conversations, and then I'll be like, aha, that's the thing, I'm going to go build that. I'm still pretty set on this 3 p.m. idea. I just don't necessarily know if I want to go into food and bev. Let's see. Okay, that was my little update. Good morning. It's Saturday. You've got a weekend treat day from me. Went for the most gorgeous dinner last night. Would highly recommend. It was called Casino. It was in the Lower East Side, which I've never been to. Younger crowd, just like very cool vibes. And I love it because it's not necessarily somewhere you come if you were like not with people who knew areas. Like it definitely was like a local girly spot. It was very cool. But yeah, 9 p.m. dinner reservations. It's just crazy. People sat down for dinner at 10:45. I was literally like, what the hell is going on? But my friend, my housemate, my roomie, my pal out here has left for the day because she's got an engagement party and then she's got a gig. So I said goodbye. And it's been so lovely having one-on-one time with her. It actually made me realise and remember how important one-on-one time with your friends is, because I often spend time with groups in London, and just having like in-depth conversations with one person really filled my heart. I feel very, very full on my last day. I'm gonna go and have a day over in Manhattan, a day/morning. I've got Pilates at 10:30, and then there's 2 stores I want to go to. Here, everyone is wearing this brand called Set Active. They only have 1 store in LA and 1 store in New York, and we know I'm a Pilates princess and want to bring the cool things to London, so I'm gonna go to Set Active afterwards and potentially buy some active wear. I'm also doing a Pilates event the day I get back. I'm hosting it on behalf of a brand, so I want to have like a cool set to wear. And then there's a jeans brand I want to go to, which is only here as well, called Still Here, I think, which is super cool, very different to anything I've seen. And then I will pop into Sephora to try and get the Road lip liner, which I haven't been able to get. So basically, it's a morning of running very vital New York errands that I can't get in the UK, basically. So it is pretty critical, you know. I'm also going to go to a bakery, which I love over there, to grab something for breakfast. They do some like gorgeous stuff. And then I need to come back over, I need to pack up and get out of here. My flight's at 8 p.m. tonight. I also want to talk about something because I received an email yesterday that I think is really interesting. I'm going to write a LinkedIn post on it, but I'll discuss it in depth on here. But we need to start mooching over. Get the subway over to Manhattan, she says with her very West Coast accent in the East Coast. Okay, oh, keys. Okay, I'm very early for my Pilates class. I'm just walking around the West Village, gorgeous townhouses. But I thought I'd fill you in on the thing I just mentioned. I basically yesterday received a press release from a brand who were announcing a collaboration that was in the YouTube space, and I was sent it with assets and a press release document to share and talk about on my social media platforms. And the nerd in me is really interested, intrigued, excited by this, because to me it signals what I already know to be true, what I already know to be happening, which is this shift in distribution from publishers having control to personal brands having control. And I think it's really interesting that, I guess, creators or thought leaders within the space are being distributed the story in the same way news outlets would be, because they recognize the influence, control and power over the conversation that thought leaders have, in the same way you used to with, I guess, publications or magazines. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure this has also gone to the Drum and Marketing Week and Ad Week and all of those sort of places. But I think it's really interesting that creators or thought leaders or personal brands are also now being included in the press release stage. So we used to actually do what we would call a launch network at the Diary of a CEO. For certain episodes, we would target creators or social media publishers or social media pages and share what we'd call a launch network, just a sort of rebranded press release that was very sort of social first, gave them a pre-teaser, pre-look, and embargoed a document so they got to break the story first. So it's something we were doing for quite a while, but I haven't had a brand send me a press release, especially a brand I don't have a relationship with. And I think this is the other part. I think brands are going to have to start building relationships with like thought leaders or creators, whatever you want to call them, in the industries they want to be a part of, in the same way they used to do it with journalists or used to do it with publications. I think that same relationship build has got to happen. I think the idea of like landing in a creator's inbox, although you're giving them a content idea or something to think about, which is definitely helpful, the idea that they would just post without any prior relationship is probably quite slim. So I think we're going to see brands build relationships with thought leaders as their new distribution channel in the same way they would have done with publications. So I just thought that was really interesting, and I thought I'd share that on here because I am going to talk about it on LinkedIn, but I'm going to, I guess, use it as a case study for where I see the industry going, as opposed to shouting about the press release. So they will, as a byproduct, get attention on their news story, but I'm not primarily going to share the news story. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I always think these little signals are indicative of where the general direction of things are going, but also playing into the narrative which I believe to be true, which is that founder-led personal brands are the future for distribution. And actually, if you have them in-house, if you have a CEO with a personal brand, if you have a founder, if you have a CMO, if you have anyone of significant, I guess, notoriety within your business itself, you don't even have to go external. You have the people within your team who can do the press releases for you, or who can do the announcements or do the hot takes for you, which is why I think building in-house personal brands is going to be so critical for awareness, audience and distribution over the next few years. Anyway, that's just my Saturday morning take. I am going to head into Pilates now, so let's go see what the studio is like. Okay, I forgot how crazy New York is on the weekends. It is so busy everywhere. I just tried to buy something in Sephora and the queue was genuinely like maybe 50 people long, and I was like, I don't want it that much. What I have done is come back over to Brooklyn and I'm walking to Reformation before I go back to pack up to see if they have this pair of vintage sunglasses that I can't stop thinking about. If they're still there, it's a sign that I need to buy them. If not, no love lost. A set from the Cool Girl Pilates brand, although they didn't have the one I wanted, but I just got a black basic set, but as it turned out it was in the sale, and I didn't realise, so I would say that's the huge win. Also, my DJI, I know I've been banging on about how amazing it is, and I need to give it a full charge because I think that might be the issue, is that I keep giving it like a 20% charge, but just like dropping charge like crazy. So I'll update you on that. That is such a cute, there's so many cute little spots. I just want to go everywhere, but I'm now on quite a serious time limit with the flight, you know, so let's check Reformation and then go from there. I've just walked through the door. It's so busy and so hot outside. I don't know why. I'm in a sweatshirt. The glasses were purchased. They still have them. There was a sign. Everything in Reformation is cheaper. So they do these vintage. And what was so special is that you can't get these online. This is like, you have to be there in the moment to buy them. So it just felt more special. They do like, they find these vintage frames and then they replace the lenses. And I really loved them the other day, and they were the only things I kept thinking about in New York. So I was like, these are going to be my New York purchase. These little Prada frames, and I don't really have any like this. I think they're quite cool girl vibes. If you don't like them, say nothing. If you love them, tell me how much you love them. And they weren't as much as like a normal pair of Prada sunglasses would be, obviously, because they don't come with like all the fancy stuff. So I thought they were quite cool. I grabbed a salad on the way back, and I did get, so the other day when I ordered Carver, it didn't come with my pita chips. You may or may not remember, I may not have told you, but these are the Carver pita chips. They're like olive oily, sea salty deliciousness. I've already had 3. There's still 3 in the pack. They're so good. I was gonna get a bagel, but I was like, I'll get a salad and get these. So I've got my Greek salad, which is here. I need to pack and be out of here in about an hour and a half. I need to remake the bed, just make sure everything's tidy, leave everything in a good state, not forget anything, have a shower, and get to the airport, get to JFK. I can't believe it's over. Like, I am in complete denial that this time is already over. And we've done so much, like so much, but at the same time, I feel like I was in my bathroom. I remember so clearly, I don't know if any of you do this, I was in my bathroom at home, being like, I'm so excited to be there, but I know before I know it, I'm going to be back in this bathroom, because it just goes so quick. Like, you want something so much and then it just goes so quickly. But it's been amazing. It's been great to meet people, go to events, enjoy myself, but also get some work done, start to like figure out a few things. Just like all of these things I think are good. I always get a night flight back from New York to try and combat the jet lag, because you leave here at like 8 p.m. Well, I leave here about 8 p.m. I try and usually get the latest flight, but that was all I could get this time. And you land at about 8 a.m. So if you can sleep for the full flight, you basically avoid any jet lag, because you can get about 6 hours sleep and it should be substantial. So I'm not having any caffeine today, and I am trying to keep myself like, so I'm like busy doing stuff, like super stimulated. So hopefully by the time I get on the plane, I like read for half an hour and then I crash. Right. Time to pack everything up, eat this salad, and order an Uber and get my case down the 3 flights of stairs, which is gonna be horrendous, but that's okay. We made it to the airport with so much time. I'm never this early to an airport ever, but sometimes JFK can be a nightmare to get through security and the traffic can be awful, so I actually left loads of time. For a type B girly, it's quite impressive, I think. Someone's just come and sat next to me. And we're home after approximately 3 hours, 50 minutes sleep. I think my route said. Considering it was a 6-hour flight, I think isn't half bad. I did have a hot row to myself, so no upgrade, but a whole row. So I think for a night flight, it's as good as it's gonna get, you know? Yeah, just heading to passport control now, and I can't believe it's all over as quickly as it started.